We have a first on messages. We had some drama in the comment section. Well, we've had drama in the comment section before about the whole porn thing, Josh, that time, if you remember that. People, they didn't like that. Well, something else happened, and I have a big response. Let's get to the response messages.
Sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence.
Jordan's messages.
All right, so I don't even know, two episodes ago, I answered a question, a legitimate question from a legitimate source, and I gave a legitimate answer. I answer messages, just right off the bat, guys. I answer messages with the information that you provide. You provide the message material. I provide the message material. Okay, and if you give me wrong information or you forget the information, don't complain to me. Don't complain to me. Let's get to what the original message was, and then we're gonna get to the responses, Josh. We had a big battle in the comment section between husband and wife. It was a brawl. WWE, it was awesome. And so we're gonna sit and we're gonna read it together. Okay, so the original message was sent from the wife, and I quote, "My 38-year-old husband and I may have a problem, but I am not sure how to fix it. When we got married 7 years ago, his parents graciously offered to turn their home into a duplex so we could live there rent-free. At the time, I thought this was great. However, I couldn't have been more wrong. Since then, my husband has been able to work as little as possible to support our family of 5, with one more on the way. He can get away with making as low as $14K a year because we can stay on food stamps and we get free rent. To him, it sounds like a dream. To me, it sounds like he is sort of lazy. Don't get me wrong, he is an amazing father and husband, but this isn't an issue. When I mention that it feels like he has never, quote unquote, left his parents and clung to his wife, he assures me that he has. We have talked about moving, but he doesn't want to take a 40-hour-a-week job because his dream is to farm and be a family man. He says he will never have time for that if he gets a full-time job. His in-laws are also always giving me advice and shaming me for not doing things like they did when they were my age. Do you have any advice?" Okay, so as you can see from the message, it sounds like this guy is just a lazy dude. He's a lazy dude who's living with the in-laws, or I guess his parents, and he's got hardly a job. He's just raking in all the, all the government stuff, and he's just, sitting around playing video games, eating bonbons, and I'm gonna watch a YouTube video on how to farm one day, and one day I'm gonna grow a turnip. Okay, that's the vibe that I got. Is that the vibe that you got, Josh?
That is how it seems.
That's how it seems. Okay, I could feel the slight, I don't want to make him mad, but I could feel the slight aggression in the message, Josh. It was very clear. It was right there. So, from that, my response apparently wasn't the right response. And the wife actually commented and said this. This is the wife of the guy in the first video. "When I wrote this question to you, I was genuinely looking for advice. I was also angry and upset. I don't know you, and I have no idea why I decided to turn to you for advice. I should have prayed harder about it or gone to a close friend, or spoke to my husband about it openly and honestly. It appears I left out a solid chunk of information because everyone seems to think he isn't farming yet. He is, and has been for the last 3 years, and he's doing a darn good job at it. He loves it, and I love that he loves his job. It doesn't pay that well yet, but only because we're in the first few years of a business. He also works as a college professor, and he is amazing at that too. He also doesn't play video games. Even though we don't have much money, I still love him more than anything. I don't need to forget him. I don't need to forget him. Oh, because I must have said forget this guy. Okay. I don't need to forget him. And if anything, I should be the one asking for forgiveness. How rude of me to share our personal issues with a stranger. That was low. I hope he can forgive me. And also, he is an amazing father. He wants to be a part of our kids' lives. That says loads about his character. Bottom line is, I love this man with all of my heart. What you said was crappy advice and pretty mean. We're going to work on things, just the two of us. You're the one who brought me into this. No one else needs to enter it. That's fine. Sorry for wasting your time by writing that letter. And above all, I'm sorry to my husband for writing it.
Wow.
It was a confusing comment, Josh, because the comment seemed really nice. I was like, oh, okay, look, they're figuring it out. But then it was like this really aggressive, angry towards me. I'm like, look, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can out here in Messages Land, and so are you, and so is the husband, and so is the other viewers.
I think it's a cautionary tale. When you're writing a message, you need to think, hey, what if in the 1 in a million chance they actually answer this?
And this never gets taken down.
How's this gonna go? How is this gonna go? You just gotta be careful. A lot of times people will write back and say, hey, actually, could you not use my message?
So the husband then apparently didn't see that his wife responded in a comment. So then he just commented independently of the wife's comment and commented this. I'm the guy from the first letter. I was a ranch hand for 8 years. I worked 70 plus hours a week during that time and barely made anything. I loved the lifestyle, but it is hard to raise a family in that. I worked my way through college, including graduate school, with no debt by working full-time on top of taking the classes. I am currently working as a college instructor teaching psychology and philosophy. Unfortunately, there has been no full-time positions available at the school for me to apply for. I am also building our farm up that we have already started. I raise sheep and chickens, used to do pigs until the feed got too expensive in the last year, and we had to sell out of them. And we have just begun to expand into goats. I love the farming because even though it is a lot of work, I can do it with my kids around, so I get to be a real part of their life. The reason we haven't left our household is because we live on the farm that I am creating. It has been in the family for decades, and I am trying to get it up to the point that it will become my full-time gig, but it takes time to breed and build up the stock. I should be close to the goal in about 3 to 5 years if the plan holds and if the government doesn't keep making it more and more difficult for the small farmer. My wife and I have had several really good talks since this letter was written, and we have a plan in place. She wrote the letter during a time that she was tired of me working so hard but not making very much money. I hate the fact that we are on food stamps, stings the pride more than a bit, and I am working to make that a thing that goes away ASAP.
Isn't that dumb?
What?
They make it hard for the small farmers.
But then they make it easy for
oh, don't worry, we'll give you money.
Correct.
Just make it easier for people to make a living.
P.S. We don't have any video games and I must have said the video games. We don't have any video games and barely have a TV 16 inches and do our very best to avoid all screen time during the week that is not absolutely necessary, working on classes and the like. Edit. Just want to say that I'm not mad at Jordan. Given the information in the letter, I would have likely jumped to the same conclusions. It was just kind of shocking to see a part of my own story and struggles on the video when I clicked on it. It was a good lesson to continue to use technology, social media sparingly. Thank you all for the kind words. This really is a cool community. And then edit, PSS. I just saw my wife's post. I love her to pieces, but she tends to be a bit passionate about things, which I think came through in her response, winky face. I think it's a winky face. Great guy. I love this guy. This is like the greatest guy ever.
I'll tell you exactly what happened here. The wife had a frustrating day. And
yes.
Look, let me tell you the number of messages that I don't end up using because they're usually not that interesting.
Sent in frustration?
No, what they said, this is how they all start. They all start with, I love the show. I finally have a situation that's worthy of messages.
Yes.
And then usually it's not, actually.
Okay.
But, people, look, the double-edged sword of this show is that we're trying to fix people's problems, but I think people want to have the problems so that they can come to...
Yes.
They can get off the show. So I think that she, in a moment of frustration,
Oh.
wrote to the show and didn't fully flesh out the situation. Then when she saw you responded, freaked out. It was like, what? Oh no! And she was worried that her husband was going to be upset. But then the husband was like, we're good. You didn't even explain it right. And it's all good. But she got scared and upset.
Look, I think that that's exactly what happened too, Josh. I really do. I think that it's hard right now, especially if you're wanting to do a farm and it's a family farm and you're trying to like build up this whole thing. That takes a long time. And this guy is committed. This guy is not scared of hard work. Clearly, this guy worked his way through college.
This guy's doing the farm the only way you can, which is basically you have to...
The old-fashioned way. You're living with your family and you're trying to get stuff off the ground as the family farm grows. It's like people, they denigrate that now, but that's how it was always done. if you had a family farm or whatever, a family like property, okay? So like, I mean, it's a great lesson for us all. It's a great lesson for us all. Somehow, even in a moment where all hell broke loose on messages, Josh, it truly did. Somehow, I still brought everyone together. The husband and the wife in the comment section got together and made up in the comment section.
And they had good talks because of the message.
Because I ruined it all. In the wife's mind. Even when I screw it up, apparently, I still fix your problems. That's the beauty of Messages Land. You can't stop me. I cannot be stopped. If you watch this, your life will be changed. Your problems will go away. Pick up your Bible. I can do what it says I can do. I can think what it says I can think. You get a car and you get a car. Look, I mean, it's the prosperity gospel, but it's kind of true in Messages Land, guys. If you come here, you get answers. You get life problems answered. You walk away changed. And is that worth $1 million to you? Oh, yes, it should be. And if it's not, get out.
Wait, does this show cost $1 million?
No, I'm saying the answers that I provide are worth millions.
Oh, okay.
Diamonds.
If you charged for them, that's how much you would
If
charge.
they were charged, I would be filthy rich. And I don't charge.
Do it for free.
All we do is an ad. That's it. Speaking of, season 2 of my podcast, the If Then Podcast, has begun. You can listen to the first 2 episodes as well as all of season 1 on my website, ifthenpodcast.com. Oh, and hey, while you're there, I want you to think about how professional the website looks. You know why that is? Because I built it with Squarespace, and it took me no time at all, like 2 days.
That's because you're a perfectionist.
And that's because I had it done in like a couple of hours, but Squarespace helps you build amazing looking websites just so easily. Everything is simple, from email marketing to video creation with the Squarespace Video Studio app, very cool, to site analytics. It's all 1 or 2 clicks away and easy to navigate. They have a template no matter what kind of site you want to create, whether it's a blog, portfolio, web store, or whatever else you need. They all look amazing and you can customize them to look and do whatever you want. So let me ask you, what kind of project are you ready to start? A podcast like me? Maybe a shop? Whatever it is, it's time to finally just build that website. You've been putting it off. Just do it. Squarespace helps us run our businesses, and they can help you too. If you want your own space on the web, do it with Squarespace. Head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to our link squarespace.com/Cal, because there you're going to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/Cal. Josh, I hold no grudges. I would love to meet this couple. I think we would be friends. Me and this guy seem like we're kind of interested in some of the same stuff. Now he's doing it on a whole other level that I can't, it's totally unmatched in my...
He can teach you a thing.
This man could teach me, okay? Sarah and your wife could be great friends. We could be friends. We could all play Flamme Rouge.
Not video games.
Not video games.
That was the one mistake you made.
I did jump to that conclusion that you were a video game aholic. I did. I will admit that. But it was a good guess. And I was very wrong. If you guys ever come through Nashville, I can't make any promises, but maybe, comment down below and tell me that you're gonna be in town, and maybe we can hang out. Don't be messy! And leave good messages, and they might get on the show, and it could be a total disaster for you, but...
That's up to right.
Yes.